A lot of people think that the WZ-111-5A is my favorite Tier 10 in Blitz, and it isn't. It's one of my favorites, but it's not my all-time favorite Tier 10. That would go to the other Chinese tech tree heavy, the BZ-75. This is honestly very similar to the 5A, has 8 degrees of gun depression, a very similar hull armor profile, but has a big chunky gun instead of a 440 alpha, and that's what allows me to really like this tank. I always find it funny when I make a video on like my favorite tanks in the game, and there's always people in the comment section like, I thought your favorite was this, I thought your favorite was that. I'm like, bruh, I can have more than one favorite tank, just like how I have more than one favorite car. When somebody asks me what my favorite car is, I'm not just going to say one single car. I'm going to list like 5 cars that I really like because it's hard to pick a single favorite. And that's the same way in Blitz. You can have more than one favorite thing, and in Blitz I have multiple favorite vehicles through multiple different tiers, and because of that, it's why I'm able to say that this is my favorite, that's one of my favorites, blah 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 blah. But yes, overall, the BZ-75 is currently my favorite Tier 10 in the game. And the reason why is because it has a Hesh-firing derp gun, which does 620 damage on its standard. It has 800, well, it's 760 on the premium Hesh, but still, that's a lot, 760 damage per shot. The vehicle also has a lot of health at 2600, and it's pretty mobile, which means that you don't have to worry about being slow to get in the position. So currently we're at 612 damage. The AMX M4 has overpoked shot, and I was tempted to shoot the AMX, but why do that when I can shoot the T95E6 for 800? And now we are at 1400 damage dealt. Now we still got 5 seconds left on our reload. You can see I put on adrenaline. This thing has a super duper long reload, but you're able to deal huge damage. 860 into that T95, and just like that, that player's gone. 2200 damage dealt in 3 shots. That's crazy. So now we have the AMX M4 in front of us. Once again, we just chill, and we got a shot. Okay, so what am I going to do? I'm tempted to poke the AMX, but I don't want to bleed too much health. But you know what I've decided? I'm going to ignore the AMX, shoot the rear of the E100 turret for 959 damage. 4 shots, 3200 dealt. That is insane. I managed to gun block the AMX M4. Now I'm going to give him some comeuppance. We aim it on the AMX side of the turret. Oh, there you go. Another pen. 3,981 damage now. That's yeah, that's a little crazy. This game has only been 2 minutes, and we've been able to deal 4,000 damage in that 2-minute period. And somehow Flossie manages to miss the shot on the Foch, which allows me to get the clear for another 480 damage. So all that's left is the T62A. And I was just kind of joking with Flossie here, going, oh, you're going to catch me, you're going to catch me. Unfortunately, the E3 is so darn slow that Flossie is just not able to get a shell into the 62A. So I aim it on the side, get an easy clear, and just like that, I've dealt 4,654 damage in a 2.5-minute game. This is such a good example of why damage per minute is not the most important value. There's always so many people that are like, oh, you need to run Gunrammer, you need to run, you know, the highest DPM tank, and sure, like, DPM is important, also, bruh, game crashed. But yeah, DPM is definitely important, but it is not the most important value in the game. The most important value is flexibility. Your tank needs mobility, it needs gun depression, and it needs armor, at least in the heavy category. And if you're missing one of those 3 things, you're gonna be in a rather tricky situation. Now, the BZ-75 has really good mobility for honestly what it is. And this is a live game we're doing here. So, yeah. But yeah, this tank has good mobility for how much health it has, as we can see. I'm chilling at 40 kilometers per hour right now, and I'm only slightly slower than the IS-4, which is supposed to be a heavium. I have 8 degrees of gun depression, which makes me flexible. And while this tank doesn't have the best armor on the turret, it is still good enough that you'll get bounces. And because it hits hard, you can still make up for that. So we obviously have the grill, we have the leopard on the flank. What I'm going to do is I'm going to move over here. We're going to aim it on the yo. Hello, good sir. Aiming. Oh, really? That's so tragic. That is actually so lame. Well, the IS-4 is trying his best. We've done 80 damage, and in return, lost 600, so not a great start. E100 fired, and not a great shot from our teammate there. Let's aim it on the lower plate of the E100. 675, that's a pretty good juicer. Alright. Well, I'm hoping that our IS-4 can hold that, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to push over to the side of this yo. Oh. Ooh. Hello there, Grill. Oh, thank you, Wargaming. Oh, I love this game so much. Oh, it makes me so happy to just watch my shell dunk right into the dirt. Oh, that's incredible. Just such a toasty feeling inside when you watch your shell do that. Well, that was better. 914 damage into the side of that Leopard, bringing what was a pretty healthy vehicle to a one-shot. Unfortunately, a Rhino is YOLOing for some reason. We still have quite a long reload left, but getting that player taken out was obviously really important. We have the Grill, who we're not going to be able to get a shell into. Oh, we're spotted? That's not good. I don't like being spotted, but see what we can do. We obviously have the Yag, which I get a nice 524 clear into, and we back into cover before the Yo can get a shell in. Pretty good stuff. We're up to 2,200 damage, and what I'm hoping is that we can actually turn and help out our IS-4. Give me a little bit of room, you goober. Give me a little bit of room. Thank you very much. Let's aim it on the lower plate of the concept. Oh, yeah. 784. And there you have it. That is the BZ-75. Going from what was a pretty average game to already 3,000. And we still have 1,700 hit points left. But that's why I really like this tank. Because it hits so hard. Because it has fairly good mobility and all the things that you'd want. It's surprisingly good. Yes! I know the Grill's about to shoot me, but we took the Waffenträger out of the game, which was a really important clear, because that is a very, very dangerous tank, so we needed that player gone. And Yo just got obliterated. E100 just shot, not able to hit you. We're just going to load in a high explosive, clear that player, and all that's left is the enemy E100, who is getting pretty bled out. Alright, well, we're going to move up here. IS-4 is a one-shot. I don't know what the C-100 is doing, but I'm going to aim it on the E-100 lower plate, and we're going to get a 592 damage shell, and we get a win. Pretty good game. And I think this really illustrates the BZ-75, right? It's got that high alpha damage, which allows you to chunk your opponents. It has gun depression, it has mobility, and when you pair all of these things together, you can do great. Another 4,000 damage game. I mean, I'll admit, the gun was a little annoying, especially shooting at that rear of the Grill. That actually made me, like, slowly die inside. But we made up for that by high explosive killing the Leopard. Well, not killing, but nuking the Leopard for 914. And then we also shot that concept with a pretty nutty shell for 784. And we blind shot the Waffenträger for 297. Too bad we didn't get that full HE damage on that Yag. We did 524 penning the side. But yeah, I think that the BZ-75 is a really fun tank. And I think that the replay plus the game I just played in really illustrates why it is one of my favorite tier 10s. So, hopefully you enjoyed today's video, and if you'd like to see more like it, please consider smashing that subscribe button down below. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.